with the rubber bands, I felt like these two were super loose that I was able to move them with my tongue. So I got scared. So for those of you who are new to my videos, I had Invisalign prior to this. And don't worry, I will be having an entire video of what my teeth used to look like before Invisalign and what they looked like during the whole braces journey, and then what it looked like after my braces. So with that being said, the reason why my tooth is wiggly is due to Invisalign. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the story in just a bit, but let's go ahead and see what the doctor has to say.
Victoria, you're definitely touching there. My problem is that I don't have the space to push those teeth anymore back.
Yeah, I know.
They're not gonna move back.
Yeah.
So your only solution there to be safe would be to put a fixed retainer on the lower. Okay. But I mean, it has a little bit of a mobility, but I don't see like they're stable.
Yeah, because
So again, by 100%, you're not supposed to be touching there, but there is not much I can do about that. And so I don't know if you remember, I discussed with Dr. Hoover kind of adjusting the bite. I don't know if that is a route that you want to take. That's something that you will have to check with her.
No, I think, like I was telling somebody last night, I was like, if this is gonna be like that, I'd rather just almost like finish and like not even move that anymore.
Yes,
Because I'm so
agree.
scared.
I agree. So I think, and it looks great.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
I'm
that
fine.
it looks great. I think that the next step, and I would feel even better, even before we remove the braces, to put a fixed retainer on the bottom.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Bite, because it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good, and I don't think that I would be able to move them anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that we should schedule. It is a stable. I don't want you to worry. We should schedule to place a fixed retainer in there, and then a schedule to debond. Bite. And I think that also once I'm done, open big, we should. Do you see those wavy things? Like we should recontour a little bit.
Yeah.
That's gonna soften your bite in there as well. But I think that that's the plan, and that would be the best way to go. Okay.
So,
No more bands.
okay.
Let's schedule for a fixed retainer.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna put a fixed retainer back here.
It's the little wire that goes behind your teeth.
Before we get into the whole story time about my Invisalign, right now what the technician is doing is she is measuring how short or how long the fixed retainer needs to be. So in my case, it is the first bottom 6 teeth. So the fixed retainer is going to basically make sure that the bottom 6 teeth stay in place. So the technician is putting these clamps in my mouth so that way she can make sure that my mouth is wide open. She's going to put like this little claw thing as you guys see now. So that way we can make sure that my teeth stay dry. And then she's going to be putting the adhesive glue that she will be curing with the LED light. She will be doing that I think about 3 times. I'm not sure if like the glue is 3 different types of glue, but that is basically how you attach the permanent retainer to your teeth. So going back to the whole Invisalign story, I'm going to try my hardest to not make this entire video about my whole Invisalign journey so I can tell you how it's been the last 13 months of having braces. But let's jump into the whole Invisalign process. So I had Invisalign twice. I had it in 2019 and then I also had it in 2021. Now, both times that I had Invisalign, I wore them about like 5-6 months, if I'm not mistaken. And 2 weeks before I finished the Invisalign process, my bottom tooth would become loose, and it was that same exact tooth. I never had any issues with that tooth prior to having Invisalign. However, the first time that I did Invisalign, my wisdom teeth were not taken out. I remember asking the dentist, do I need to take out my wisdom teeth? And he told me no, although the x-rays showed that my wisdom teeth, the bottom 2 wisdom teeth, were growing sideways. So basically they were growing towards my other teeth, and then the top 2 wisdom teeth were growing diagonally. So they should have been taken out, but they weren't. As you guys can see in the bottom of my mouth, I do not have any more space for teeth to shift to be a perfect position, which is why my teeth flare out instead of being perfectly straight down. So basically, if you look at someone who has perfect teeth, who has gone through the whole braces journey, their teeth go straight down. Like if you look at their side profile, if you look at my side profile, my teeth flare out. Not that I have an overbite or anything like that. They just flare out because the Invisalign did that to me. Since I did not have enough space in my mouth, they ended up flaring out. Now, that's not something that could be corrected with braces. It could have been corrected if we took out 4 teeth, again, top 2 and top bottom, but that didn't happen with me. So that is why my teeth are flared out. The second time around that I had Invisalign, I expressed my concerns of me not having enough space in my mouth. I did remove all 4 wisdom teeth before I started it. Now, granted, I did tell the dentist the first time that I did Invisalign, as well as the second time I did Invisalign, I felt like it didn't have enough space in my mouth, so that way my teeth will be able to align perfectly on the bottom. So that is basically the main purpose as to why that tooth became wiggly. Now, the second time that I did Invisalign, they shaved both sides of that same tooth that's wiggly to see if maybe that'll make a difference, which I was positive that it would not. But of course, I did whatever the doctor recommended. So we shaved that tooth just a tiny bit. But if you look up close to my teeth, if I was to smile, you will be able to see just a tiny, 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 and I mean like the tiniest little gap. It's only literally at the root of my tooth. So you can't really see it, but I can see it. So I know that's an imperfection that I have. The same issue happened 2 weeks before I was about to finish my Invisalign process. That same tooth became wiggly. So at that point, they wanted me to wear the last tray, like basically the last tray of the retainers for the Invisalign for at least a month. And I straight up told the dentist, no, listen, that ain't working out for me. Okay, I need to figure out another way. So what had happened is I told them I want to go ahead and finish the Invisalign process, just get the permanent retainers. Well, they weren't permanent because they didn't do what they're doing now. But basically the trays that I would be using for the rest of my life. And so that happened. And I noticed that every time I would use my retainers, the tooth would be perfect. Now, the moment I would take out the retainers, I literally felt that tooth was extremely weak and I could move it with my tongue. I was like, this is not happening. Like, I was like that for a few months. And then I ended up seeing a different dentist. That dentist went ahead and recommended me to go to an orthodontist because there was nothing that they can possibly do for that tooth. So an orthodontist would be able to help me with that tooth and maybe see if braces would be the journey for me. So I went ahead and I saw the orthodontist, and the orthodontist recommended me to do the braces. Of course, the x-rays showed that my tooth was fine, my enamel was fine, the bone was fine, nothing was wrong with that tooth. However, because I didn't have space in my mouth, that tooth obviously was not going back to be a perfect alignment as like a curve, if you will. So if I would have done braces in the beginning, my orthodontist told me that she would have removed 2 teeth on the top and 2 teeth on the bottom. So moral of the story is I do not recommend Invisalign. I highly recommend braces. Forget about, oh, I don't want to have braces because I want to make sure that it's invisible. Basically, mine were invisible. I got the brackets that were clear, so you kind of didn't really see the train tracks, if you will. So I highly recommend braces. Do not go through the Invisalign process. Now, that's just my personal opinion. Of course, reach out to your doctor. Go over the pros and cons with your doctor. I am not a doctor by any means, but yeah, guys, I truly hope I didn't bore you that much, but I wish I had this educational video when I was going through the whole process because I definitely would have chosen braces over Invisalign, especially knowing how my mouth was. When you look at your mouth, you will be able to tell, do I have enough space in my mouth to make sure that my teeth are corrected with all the crooked teeth that I had? And, technically it wasn't common sense to me before, but that's something that you don't think about when you're getting braces. It's something that you highly depend on your dentist or the orthodontist to use their judgment on their education. But you see, that wasn't the case with me. However, going into the whole having braces, we are in my 13th month having braces. Honestly, it has been easy peasy. I truly thought that the whole braces experience would be horrendous with all the horror stories that I've heard of wires poking into your cheeks, brackets falling off, not being able to eat certain food like chips, that your bracket will fall off, or having anything sticky like peanut butter will have your brackets fall off. I never had that experience whatsoever. So I think I was probably either the lucky one or I just knew not to chew as hard and to just chew slowly when I was eating something like that you're not technically supposed to be eating, but I still ate it. Sorry if my orthodontist is watching this. But Listen to your orthodontist, listen to your dentist, do not listen to me. Mine is just my own opinion. So we're pretty much done with the whole process. The technician's gonna go ahead and finish up here. Next up, she's gonna go ahead and make sure that the fixed retainer is exactly where it needs to be. And as you guys can see, it is there, glued, and is not gonna go anywhere. Next up, she's going to show me how to floss now with the fixed retainers. Want more braces videos? Go ahead and click the braces playlist. And of course, if you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
I can show
Water
you.
pick.
Water pick.
Yeah.